Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. Welcome to today's show, Sunday. You guys know we have to come here and deliver the sermon of the times. I want to welcome all of you. Hello, St. James, and all the other people that I didn't mention, those of you that are coming in. But make sure you like and share. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because as I can see, people, most of you, you keep coming in, you're hiding in the corner, you're basing it off of if you like it or not, but it's not about that. It's about the information that is being disseminated through this microphone to you. Because you see, when you are in the business of giving information, don't look at the messenger. Look at what information is being put out there. Because sometimes that message that you hate to hear so much could save your life or save somebody else's life. As they say, medication is not always delicious. It can be bitter, but it would cure the body, rid it of bacteria and viruses or whatever ailment people are going through. But today I want to talk about two-part series. I'm going to talk about the Biden-Harris immigration policy, and I'm going to talk about sex tourism in Uganda. And eventually I'll allow people to call in. I want to hear from the audience. But like I said, the Afridamus channel is about laying out the truth. Because as you know, the truth shall set us free. I'm going to get into the first part of it, which is the Biden-Harris immigration policy. Ladies and gentlemen, this here, I'm going to speak in the voice of an American citizen. I am not for illegal immigration. I am not for open border for whoever. So this is why during the elections, I listened to both sides, listened to their policies. The one side was promoting what? Free stuff, racial tension, when in fact, because if they talk about racism, these very people, Harris and Biden, if you believe in racism, which I believe it's hatred, where you hate the person based on their skin color. They made a word for it, but there is something living within the individual to base their hatred for certain group of people. But before elections, they exploited the pain, the plight and the complaints of especially Black people in this country, to get Black people and other groups of people to hate our real president, Donald J. Trump. They said Trump was racist. Trump hates people. When he was building that big, beautiful wall in the southern border, they caused you to hate all that. When in reality, it is to protect the home that you are in, which is America. Biden and Harris told you, me, and everybody that Trump is a racist. Kamala Harris herself, during the presidential debate, she stood there and said that Biden is racist. Right then and there, you could know she was hijacking, you know, the past pain of Black Americans. She didn't go through that. She did not go through that. But they know once they use that R word, you bring Black people to your side. Just by you simply talking about it, they will support you. But now you're going to see you as a Black person or whoever, as an American, you thought you were supporting things that going to be in your favor, right? You voted people in that you voted them in based on skin color. They look like you. So you made up in your head that these people are going to be there for you. These people will represent your interests. But when they got in, the first thing they did, because they were talking about, they even played around with the words of reparation. You don't hear that word anymore. They hailed up George Floyd as the murder for Black people. I was telling people that this is all fake. This is all baloney. But another interesting thing they talked about was the open border policy. Remember, I told you Donald Trump was building the big, beautiful wall in the South to protect America from illegals coming in. You have people like AOC Ocasio-Cortez from New York. They're pretending to cry. They said Donald Trump is putting children in cages. They are separating children from their parents. You have people like Ilhan Omar, who herself is, she came to this country as a child, as a Somali refugee. Talib, you have Talib, who is a Palestinian Arab. They all cried racism just to try to identify, to pretend to identify with Black people. And Black people went for it. You have the Congressional Black Caucus, Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson Lee, to name a few. They stood in the pulpits to tell Black people that if you vote for Donald Trump is going to put Black people in slavery. But while on stage, Biden sent a message. I don't know if people were listening, but I was listening carefully. He sent a message to South Americans, other people. He said he would tear down that wall and he would allow illegals to come into this country. And the illegals heard this message. Once they, quote unquote, took over, he did just that. And there was influx of illegals coming in. And they started making excuses of all sorts. They're like, oh, these people are facing, crimes in their country. They need asylum. You have just the other day, you have the Congressional Black Caucus. You would think they are called the Congressional Black Caucus, meaning they are there to represent the interests of mostly Black people because they came from Black constituencies, and it is that Black group that sent them there to represent their interests. But that's not what happened. They helped signed the DACA bill, meaning the illegals that came into this country with their children, who, by the way, are not US citizens, they are illegal here, they are signing into law so that those people can become citizens. So everything they are proposing is not in the interest of Black people, much more American citizens. Everything is catered to what would help them. That's what everything is catered towards. They talk about the voter ID bill. They want to piss off Black people and say, oh, if you ask people to use ID for voting, that's racist, because they say Black people don't know how to get ID. We all know that's an insult. Even the person saying that tells you their idea about Black people. And this is who the president of the United States, quote unquote, is, Joe Biden. So they were taking all types of steps to provide accommodation. Even if you dare speak about the illegals coming in, they call you a racist. The white people that are saying that, oh, we don't want these people invading our country, they call them racist. And these people, by the way, they are exempt from, you guys know the C-19 protocols. They are telling the rest of the citizens, us here, they are like, you need to put on 2 masks, you need vaccine ID and all this stuff. But you can just easily walk through that border. No problem, right? That's what you thought. I'm about to play a clip here for you to hear for yourself the sentiment about these illegals, and pay attention to the words that you're not going to hear. And when the color of the illegal changes, check, just pay attention and see what the words are. Because if you look at it, right, they are loading up planes with Afghan, quote unquote, refugees, bringing them into America. And where do you think these people are going to end up? In Black neighborhoods. They are trying to replace Black people. So you have voted people in that want you out. They are trying to increase that voting bloc to take power away from Black people in this country. But Black people are not seeing this. They think, oh, Donald Trump is the enemy. Oh, the people that are standing against this, those are the enemies. No. They want you to embrace, illegals coming through the border from completely different culture, from these Hispanic speaking countries. You tell me, how is that in your interest, people? That is not in your interest. So us, the American people that are standing against this, we do not hate. We do not hate people immigrating to this great country. We just want them to do it the right way. Come through the front door. How hard is that? How hard is that? But when you say that, they would say you are a hater. Some of you are probably going to say, oh, didn't you immigrate to America? Yes, I did. But I came through the front door. Through the front door. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to blow your mind. Because when these people are coming, they are welcoming them. Did you know they are busing them, distributing them around America? And the government is, like the news media, all of them, they are in cahoots. They are mute about this. They are bringing Afghans into military bases. They are distributing them. And hey, this is going to make you happy, right? Each of those people, thousands of them, they bring them in, they're giving them free housing, and they don't even have to take the C-19, I don't have to say the thing. They don't have to take, the C-19 juice. They don't have to do that. But they are telling you, if you don't do it, you are a terrible human being. And each of them, they are giving them what? Over $2,000. These people have never even paid taxes in this country. But how long have you as a black person, whose great great grandparents were brought into this country here and serve in this country, you talk about reparation, they tell you to go sit down. How do you feel about helping people that turn against you? That is the Biden government, people. That is the Biden government to you. And Kamala, you guys know Kamala Harris, the quote-unquote vice president. When she first went to the Senate, you can go find that newspaper. I talked about that here. She represented herself as the first Indian to be elected into the US Senate. But when it was convenient, she became black. And you bought it. You accepted it. You're like, yeah, she is black. This is why I keep telling people, listen to when people talk. Sometimes, the individual, you might not like what they are saying, but it doesn't mean what they are saying is not true. It doesn't mean that. Just because you don't like what the person is saying doesn't mean the person hates you. You see? But I'm about to play this tape for you because, like I said, all these people I named, including the Congressional Black Caucus, they supported this DACA program, which is a path to citizenship for over, quote unquote, millions, like some say 11 million, but who knows how many, because there's more people that kept coming within the short period of time. Do you know how many people came through the border? The news is not telling you. The southern border is packed with people coming in, and they are busing them in. The border patrol, their hands are tied. They are not allowed to stop these people. They have to bring them in. And that's what they've been doing. But let me play a clip from months ago, how the news, MSNBC, how they are reporting this and what the sentiment is. Because the Biden administration is saying, let's accommodate these people. They can, it's compassion. We have to send them back. By the way, he's the one that sent them the message to come to America. But you want to help other people come to America. But what about the American citizens that need help? Black people have been crying about, reparations forever. But they are like, oh, we don't have money to give reparation to black people. But you're going to bring Afghans, you're going to bring people from Honduras, Guatemala, you name it. But the thing is, they said you can come. They welcome them to come here. When Donald Trump, the real Donald Trump, was in charge, people, you can clearly see he put a complete stop to that. This wasn't a problem, but I'll just play this.
As it apprehended more than 188,000 migrants crossing the southern border in June. NBC.
Remember that number, 188,000, not just 188, 188,000. Make sure you remember this number.
Correspondent Julia Ainsley joins us now with more. Julia, thanks for getting up really quickly on this breaking news. How does this compare to May and what's going on?
Well, it's up from May. It's up about 10%, and the number of families is up 25%. So what we're seeing here is a 21-year high. The last time the numbers were higher than this was in March of 2000, when there were over 220,000 immigrants stopped at the border. This is unusual because usually what you'll see is a downturn in immigration when the temperatures get really hot at the border. Usually May is about the peak, and then when you're talking about crossing the border as the temperatures surge above 100, there's simply fewer people, especially children, who are willing to make that journey. But it shows that there are still many children desperate enough, fleeing conditions of violence, poverty, a lot of that inflicted by the COVID-19 pandemic, that they want to risk their chances and come to the United States. Another reason these numbers are significant is because there have been many reports that the Biden administration is considering ending their COVID-19 restrictions that have been put in place that has expelled many of those immigrants who are attempting to cross the border before they're allowed to make an asylum claim. If they lift that, more immigrants will be able to stay in the United States while they pursue those claims. And border officials that I've spoken to say that they worry once those restrictions are lifted, they will see even more immigrants trying to come into the United States. And they don't want that to be pushed past the limits of the Border Patrol. Of course, immigration advocates would say those people deserve the right to come in and have their day in court.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard that, right? They are willing to change, push their COVID-19 restrictions. Immigration, quote unquote, activists are coming out saying these people have the right to have their day in court, right? It's about human right. We love everybody. But now, let's hear if that's what's the same language. The same language would be used when the color of the immigrants change. Because they said these people are fleeing violence and poverty. But Haiti people, we all know Haiti is poverty ridden. Haiti has been going through it. They just had an earthquake. If anyone has a case for poverty, right, to file for asylum, it would be them. But let's watch this clip and see if the same language is what is going to be used for the Haitians that are trapped under the bridge at the Rio Grande down there in Texas, in the hot, blistering Texas sun. Let's hear if you're going to the same language used here, because these people, they said, keep them here. Let's try to help them out. Now let's go to the Haitians, because the Haitians that are coming, there is less of them than the Hispanics. And in fact, let me just let you hear this for yourself.
Mission on the Texas border. A group of migrants, most from Haiti, spilling onto the shoreline beneath a border bridge. Thousands of men, women, and children waiting days in triple-digit heat for their chance to claim asylum. Late Saturday, Border Patrol, National Guard, and Texas state troopers descending on the scene to try and slow down the surge.
We need the administration to call this what it is. This is a crisis.
The Department of Homeland Security sending 400 additional Border Patrol agents and resuming deportation flights to Haiti within the next 48 hours, adding our borders are not open.
Did you guys hear that? So when it was Hispanics, right? Oh, they didn't have enough border patrols. Oh, you cannot send them back because it's violence there. But I'll let you continue to hear this. Did you guys see? They said they need to be deported. Not next week, not tomorrow, not the day after, within 48 hours. So before, so these other illegals, They can come in, no problem. You can go all the way to Afghanistan and bring them, even help them come here and give them money. But the moment the color of the immigrant changed, this is what your Congressional Black Caucus is fighting for. So you're going to hear in this conversation, you're not going to hear the activists, vouching for them. Nobody is vouching for the Haitians. The moment the color changed, like I said, they from Haiti, it became a crisis. Before there was no crisis, but now all of a sudden it's crisis.
And people should not make the dangerous journey. Yet so many already have. DHS saying till recently, thousands lived in South America. This Haitian man sharing he paid 5,000 pesos for help reaching the Texas border. Across the river, the city of Del Rio already struggling. The bridge closure cutting off millions in cross-border business.
We're just a little town. We're not equipped to humanitarianly take care of these people.
Authorities say some migrants will be taken to U.S. processing centers, ones where staff aren't already overwhelmed. Others flown back to Haiti, where the island nation is still reeling from a 7.2 magnitude earthquake barely a month ago. Until then, a real-time test for U.S. authorities after the White House dismantled policies from the Trump administration that required asylum seekers to remain in Mexico while waiting for their day in court.
Every Border Patrol agent I talked to said this is at a tipping point for our security, our capacity.
And this morning, the mayor of Del Rio tells me that complicating this issue is the fact that Ciudad Acuña, the city just across this bridge in Mexico, has not been as cooperative as they would have liked in slowing down the flow of those buses carrying migrants. The message from authorities on this side of the river today, the border is closed. Don't make that journey north. Willie?
Morgan Chesky in Del Rio, Texas for us. Morgan, thanks so much.
Did you guys see that? Again, I'm saying I'm not an advocate for open border illegal migration, but let's call a spade a spade. So between May and June, this is like within 1 month, you have over 100,000 coming from Mexico, Guatemala, let's say the white Hispanic countries. It's humanitarian crisis. There is crimes, there's poverty where they come from. So are they saying there's no poverty in Haiti? There's no crime there? So not all illegal immigrants are created equal. And everybody is mute about this. The moment the Haitians came, they said the border is closed, do not come. And they did not even wait. I'm telling you, all of a sudden they could find planes, buses to put the Haitians in back to Port-au-Prince. They didn't even waste any time. Where's people like Ilhan Omar, who didn't even used to waste time to talk about, how, these Hispanic immigrants are being mistreated, how inhumane it is. Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, these people going to the border pretending to cry. You have members of the Congressional Black Caucus, like I said, pretending to cry. So it is compassion, right? It is compassion until the Haitians showed up. Now, all of a sudden, the compassion ran out. They did not waste time. Did you guys hear this? 48 hours. 48 hours. Biden did not hesitate to approve for all of them to get sent back to where they came from. You're not hearing any voices. In fact, what they did was they closed the airspace because there was a drone taking pictures of this. Now, all of a sudden, that is a no-no. They closed the airspace. No, they didn't waste any time. I'm just pointing this out. I want people to see this. I want America to see this. I want the world to see this. All these things these people are talking about, racism, blah, 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 it's all BS. It's all BS. They want you to support abortion and all that. That's right, St. James. Yeah, where's Obama? Where's Clinton's? Where's all these people that were talking about they have so much compassion? Where are all those people? They are quiet. They are nowhere to be seen. So, and I know I've known some Haitians who are here, they're Americans, who themselves, they are, even if you dare speak Donald Trump's name, they get upset. Everybody say, oh, he's the racist. We support Biden. Huh. So much for that, right? Now you are seeing it right in front of you. Everything they were saying about Trump is all projections. It's all projection. They were telling you who they are, but they were trying to put it on Trump. They're the ones that differentiate people through skin colors, as you can see. How is it different? If like these Haitians that came, it's like about 13,000 of them.